From the Sunshine State, this is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Welcome to Random Talk. I'm Jim Arnold, the collectaholic and owner of Real Art. That's ReelArt.net. I collect movie props and replicas and ancient mysteries and oddball stuff. You name it, we have a market for it. And my cohort in crime here,
Dr. Paul Cox, chiropractor from Newport Richey.
you look like you forgot what...
No, I just came back from the beach, man.
Okay,
I'm like not into the swing of things yet.
Oh, all right.
Hey, I want to say hi to all my friends down in St. Pete Beach.
St. Pete Beach.
We had a great weekend down there.
Down at the beach.
Oh, man, the fireworks.
Happy belated Labor Day to all those people out there.
Memorial Day, Jimmy.
Memorial Day, yeah. I'm caught in a landslide.
You can say Labor Day if you want to jump ahead so you don't forget it.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it was one of those Monday holidays. See, so
What'd you do over the weekend?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, I told you we went out and grabbed some chow on Friday night. I came home let the dogs out. I looked out and there was like lights all outside and golf, man, going out the river. There, it looked like there's just a row of lights as far as you could see, and the island out there. I said, "What the hell's going on?" And Marcia says, "Well, it's Memorial Day. People are celebrating." I'm like, "Okay, great. What are we doing? Nothing." We get up. I got up about 2:30 on Saturday, and I can't even swim in my pool because it's got a leak in it. And
you haven't got that leak fixed yet?
No, but I did sign a contract. So the guy's he was supposed to start on Monday, which was yesterday. And Marcia called him today, and he said, well, they haven't, because it was a holiday, they weren't going to start. But the water's down to it's past the light in the pool. Now, the pool guy still comes out and cleans it because, he wants to get his $80 a month. It's been like that now for what are we going on? 3 months now?
No, more than that.
It has been more than that?
Yeah, January. We were talking about it in January.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think in January we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, when I get it fixed, we're going to have a party out there. Maybe
all right, cool. That'd be great.
Maybe we'll transmit the radio station from there. So what did you do over the weekend, Mr. Paul?
I told you I was...
out on St. Pete Beach?
Yeah.
Did you jog from St. Pete to Clearwater?
I walked down towards the Don Cesar. We were right beside the trade winds, and we walked up to the Don Cesar and back on the beach. And after that, I figured that was 2 days' worth of exercise, so I didn't have to do anything else.
You shouldn't have to.
And laid by the pool, swam, hung out on the beach.
Don Cesar is of course, everybody knows there's a lot of history in there. I'll tell you this. I was down there. Of course, I've stayed in there. We used to go down there for New Year's Eve every once in a while. I used to be part owner in a company called SD Studios, and we had the license for James Bond memorabilia. And we used to manufacture replica James Bond stuff like the wrist rocket, golden gun, bullets, da-da-da. And this partner of mine, he wanted to get into some other licenses. So we got in, we went out to California. We talked to Paramount and Viacom they were opening up the show Enterprise with Star Trek. They wanted us to make a spaceship, the Enterprise. Of course, that show bombed, so it was a good thing we didn't get involved in that. Called me again, and back when we're talking about 10 years ago, when Star Wars Episode 1 first came out, they were getting ready for that to come out, and this buddy of mine, they used to make these lightsabers. Actually, the lightsabers made from the old flash for your camera. That's how they made those lightsabers. That's where the idea came from. And then they made a different one for each guy. He had a Yoda one that he made, and he had tried to make a deal with Lucasfilm. And Lucasfilm's real tight on their stuff that they collect there. Anyway, make a long story short, he traded them the license for that lightsaber that he made as a fan, that they were going to use in these films, for the license to sell their stuff. And so we met at the Don Cesar down there and formed a company called Master Replicas. And Master Replicas, if you know anything about them, they're the ones that made all the high-end stuff, like the walkers that cost like $700 and the spaceships that cost like $1,200. I came up with, at the time, they had these collectible lightsabers, and then they'd have guys sign it, and you put it in like a little acrylic case. Mm-hmm. I came up with this idea, why can't we make a lightsaber that's got a lighted end? And then you press a button, and it makes a noise. And the other partner that was coming into this thing is the founder of the doll American Girl. Did you ever hear of that?
Yeah.
And he said, wow, that's a great idea. And so it was there in the foyer of the Don Cesar that I came up with that, and we decided we were going to make those lightsabers that you see all over the place today. And they sold those, and of course Master Replicas went out of business, and Hasbro picked up that line of lightsabers, and they sell those lightsabers today. There's probably 7 different kinds. Of course, I decided not to get involved with Master Replicas. That guy, I mean,
you didn't get along with him.
I didn't. Yeah, we had a rough time during the James Bond deal for a couple of years, and then he wanted to do it his way, but he wasn't putting any money in it. You know how it goes. You go in partners with somebody, and then they don't put any money in it, but they want to do everything their way. And it's like, okay. And it's like you don't know anything. They know everything, but they don't have any money. So, they wanted to do the business without you, but they don't have any money to do it, so they want your money. So that's why Master Replicas went out of business. So anyway, that Don Cesar in the foyers where that happened. So that I have each one of those. If you come into my house now, I got all 7 of those lightsabers on my wall in my Club Obi-Wan bar.
Okay, is that what you're calling it?
Right. Man, you know where Club Obi-Wan is? Where does that appear? That's in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's where they had the fight at the beginning. That's Club Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi's in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's where the medallion goes into fire, and the guy reaches into fire, and it burns his imprint of the medallion.
Well, no, the Club Obi-Wan is if you watch the Temple of Doom, and he goes in with the antidote, or the jewel, the Lao Che jewel.
Okay.
And he's giving the jewel to the guy, and then the guy poisons him, and he has the antidote, and then they're dancing on the front there, and they get in a big fight.
And the little Chinese kid.
Yeah, the Chinese kid. He's got the Chinese kid.
Them.
Yeah. But
anyway, Spielberg ended up marrying that
girl. Yeah, that was his. That was actually his wife, I think, before the movie, and then after the movie, they got divorced. But yeah, that was his wife, actually. That was that girl, Kate Crenshaw, I think her name was. Kate Crenshaw, I think her name was. And and that was probably her last movie. I guess if you get divorced from Spielberg, that's it. You're done in Hollywood, right?
I guess you don't have to do anything else. I think you've got enough money to.
Well, I think all these guys have enough money. Why do they even continue? Unless you see them on, the guys that don't have enough money, you see them on that wife swap show. I saw that the other night, and Tiffany was on there. Remember Tiffany? She had a one-hit wonder song. She was
Tiffany,
a teen.
Yeah, I remember Tiffany.
Yeah, well, she's on Wife Swap, and or I think one of those girls from the Jersey Shore was on They got they put him in a
Snooki?
house with no, it's not Snooky. The other girl married a guy from that Jersey Shore, and there's a show. I saw the ads, and I was wondering who the hell are these people? What TV show are they from? And they put like 4 couples in a house, and they're trying to get their marriage solved. They're having fighting. They're fighting. They're on the edge of getting a divorce, and they got these. They're trying to get them solved, and so they all stay in the same house, and they go through this therapy stuff, and these guys fight in the house. And I wonder, they show all these couples. I can't figure out what any of these couples have ever been in. And I was reading a People magazine, and I saw it showed what they were in. And the only one I recognized was from Jersey Shore. And I never watched the show, but it was advertised so much. And I still don't know who the girl is because, she's 25, 26 now. Yeah. And but I guess they'll try anything to get your attention to watch this. And I guess the girl beats him up on the show and punches him in the mouth and all this stuff. And
hey, Jimmy,
you gonna watch that?
No, I'm not. But there's a new invention out, and I really think it's really cool.
Oh, it's called
you know my thing about conservation of water and everything else. Well, this guy's developed this toilet. Do you know what I'm going to say? The guy developed a toilet that instead of washing your hands in a regular little hand sink, you turn the spigot over top the toilet and wash your hands into the toilet. The water flows into the toilet. And then you turn it off, and then you push it over, and then you sit down on the toilet, go to the bathroom.
We had one of those things.
You did?
On our toilet.
Cedric grew up with one of those.
I'm not kidding. I did grow up with one of those.
He had a urinal, and it had a spigot. So while he's peeing, he could wash his hands in the urinal.
There's this basin with a dolphin, and the dolphin...
He had to watch it, though.
The dolphin would spit the water out, and you'd wash your hands, and it would go into the tank.
Really?
Yeah.
He had to watch it, though, because when he was peeing into the urinal, the spigot would go into his pants, and it would fill up his leg, his third leg up real
Must
good.
be like that cop that got caught.
In Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Yeah, what is the deal, man? There's this cop gets caught in Starbucks masturbating. All these people are on their computers in Starbucks. A guy's eating his... his blueberry muffin, and he looks under the table, and this cop's whacking off, and in there. They call the police. The girl behind the counter is just making her cafe con leche, and
they didn't even fire the guy.
Yeah,
he's an off-duty cop, and they didn't fire him. They said, he was having a bad day.
Yeah, he was having a bad day. They wouldn't even admit it was him.
Sounds like he was having a good day.
The cops wouldn't even admit that. The cops. This was in Camden, New Jersey, and he's involved in a different kind of stick up. The guy Benito Gonzalez Jr. He pulled down his shorts while seated at a table, and apparently trying to put his own foam in his latte. And the police. This is the part that the police apologized and said they're deeply troubled against his off-duty conduct. But they didn't say they were going to do anything. They didn't fire him or anything like that. Of course, he was off-duty, but aren't these cops and police people supposed to have some kind of... I thought teachers and cops and stuff, when they're off-duty, they're supposed to be acting in a... respectable professional manner. Only chiropractors and collectors of stuff can act like
nut jobs,
nut cases, right? Well, I'm a nutcase anyway.
Friday, this woman is she's driving down the street, and she stops at a stop sign, and this naked guy runs up and jumps inside her car through the sunroof.
Well, is this when you were down in St. Pete?
No, this happened in Dallas last Friday. And so the woman says, he pinned me down. I couldn't move. and he's sitting on top of her with the steering wheel behind him. He's got her pinned, and he's slapping her and choking her and pulling on her hair.
Oh, my God.
And the woman revved the gas up, and she ran into a phone pole or utility pole. And the police had to come, and the guy was still there doing it, and they had to pry him off the woman. I don't know what's going on, but this Memorial Day, you heard about all the shootings in Clearwater and all this crazy stuff going on. But and the University of California Santa Barbara incident.
Well, you know what that was. You know what that was all about, don't you?
He didn't like blondes.
No, that guy. You know what happened, Cedric? You know what happened with this guy?
No.
He grabbed her crotch and took a sample, and he took it back home. The guy's a big science guy, and he worked at KFC. And did you ever wish your chicken was crispier?
Not me.
No, this KFC worker, he took the sample with him at home, and somebody made fun of him while he was at the working at KFC, and so he claimed on his Facebook page that he put pubic hair in the chicken. So from this, he grabbed that and he put a handful of pubic hair in the batter.
Does he remember the customer that he did it?
And he said, let's see, he had a rant, or he showed pictures of, to the girls who came through KFC drive-through on Western Avenue between 1 and 1.5, threatened my friend who served you because she needed to smile more. Karma's a bitch, girls. Hope you enjoyed your food I made for you after hearing the way you spoke to my girl on the headset. Picking pubes out of your teeth for a week. Moo-wah, moo-wah, XOXO. And later, the KFC spokesperson, they fired him, and they said he was just fooling. There was no pubes in there. But the woman that he jumped into her car had to go to the hospital because her whole crotch was all tore out. So I don't know. I'm glad I didn't eat at that KFC.
Yeah. Well, what else have you got today, Jimmy?
Although I ate some coleslaw from KFC and there was an eyeball in there. So
it was just probably a chicken eyeball. It's
okay. I remember my brother-in-law. When he was a kid, he worked at KFC, and he said they used to throw all kinds. They used to spit in the coleslaw and all kinds of stuff. One time there was a rat, and they thought some guy was eating and thought it was a chicken leg. And it was a rat.
Oh my God!
You wonder why I don't eat this stuff.
I'm not eating out anymore.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, I was going to say Labor Day, but Memorial Day brings out all the crazies. I tell you, they're out all over the place. Finally, the cops, they picked up this woman, and they finally jailed her. She'd been getting arrested multiple times on speeding tickets. She's had 5 speeding tickets since 2008. They finally caught her and got her to pull over because she's driving through stoplights and takes a picture of their license plate. And she's been blaming it on her husband. He's been dead since 2007. So she's just not paying for it, and then she just going on. You know what else was happening this weekend in Tampa? I mean, this weekend's really, any of these holidays where they got Monday off or Friday off, everybody's there. In Tampa, the Santa Claus convention was happening here. Did you know that?
No.
Santa Claus, obviously they weren't at the beach, but that's one of the great joys of living in a French state is that with all the attractions, is that you have a lot of conventions that come down here. And there's a convention of the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, not to be confused with the Amalgamated Order of Real Bearded Santas, now defunct due to a schism in the Santa ranks. It was held for 3 days over the weekend. And about 275 rotund, white-bearded St. Nick's, along with a posse of Mrs. Clauses and elves, waddled around the Doubletree and Hilton in Tampa, sharing trade secrets and the latest Santa gear. They had seminars and all kinds of stuff going on. Some of them went on group excursions to Busch Gardens or to swim with the mermaids.
Up in
Yeah, up
Weeki
Wachee. I thought that place was closing down, but
No,
evidently
it's owned by the state now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
When did the state take that over?
During the Civil War.
Did you know John? Did you know John's ex-wife's mother?
You can't say that
she
on the
was
radio.
I'm sorry. John is that's Cedric's grandson.
Okay.
She used to be a mermaid.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. But she's only like 50, and his ex-wife's 40.
So she had her daughter when she was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John married her when she was 11.
All right.
And but they had seminars going on to show you where to buy stuff. And Mike Foley, the Worldwide Wrestling guy, is a Santa now, and he was there talking and this and that. They had one guy that kind of caught my eye. The one guy, his Santa costume cost, when he's wearing his Santa costume, they were talking to this one guy, it cost about $4,500 what he's got on. And that's, he doesn't have any, he's got a grown beard and everything. He wears about $4,500, and then he has a like an assistant, and they get $175 an hour. And he doesn't do shopping malls or anything. It's only professional, private thing. But that happened this weekend too, so you might have saw some Santa Clauses. If you did, you did. And
there is something else that happened in Tampa this past weekend. And it was called
What's that?
The Bacon or Bust Competition. It's put on by the Farmland Bacon Club, and it's turning the art world upside down. Is what it's doing. Because
that's that thing I get every month, bacon.
Yeah. And here's the catch: you have to sign up to be a member, and if you win, you're going to get a life-size bacon sculpture of your face. And you could put it right beside your other sculpture of your face, Jim, in your living room.
I could eat it.
That's
while I'm
right.
watching
You
TV.
could eat it.
But
I
actually clicked on that. They had a Kevin Bacon bust that they sold for $5,000.
Did they?
Yeah. And I clicked on that to see what it looked like, and it was like a life-size bust, man, of Kevin Bacon. And
Kevin Bacon, yeah.
Bacon.
I like that movie when he was Invisible Man.
That's a good movie, actually.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
did.
it was better than the Invisible Man.
I didn't know what to expect because the original Invisible Man, but it was actually pretty good. And did you ever see The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
Love that movie.
When he took that guy and he's like, man, quit bugging me, and he took the guy's arm and he goes boom, 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 and it like broke his arm off. I mean, that was like the best part of the movie.
So anyway, Larry, friend Larry.
My name's not Larry.
No, my friend Larry Chrisman from Colorado is visiting Florida.
Out there.
There's a lot of things to do out here in Florida, so just keep your eyes open, and you may be able to go to one of these events like the Bacon or Bust.
Or you can go over to one of the nudist camps over here and let it all hang out. Just don't go when it's raining. That's not a good time. Like yesterday it was pouring down rain.
It didn't rain on the beach, but the fireworks were spectacular.
And watch off. Where's he staying? Where's Larry staying? At a hotel?
Wherever he wants. I don't know.
Well, if he's staying at a hotel and he's got to take, or he gets a ride over to one of the...
He usually stays at the Trade Winds, but he may be...
he needs to watch out when he goes over to one of the nudist camps over there, because there was in the story here, a woman got off a bus and she was knocked out by an airborne deer over there. it took her over to Paradise Lakes, and she got off the bus, and right when she got off the bus, an airborne deer came by and hit her and knocked her out. And she didn't have any clothes on.
You don't hear much about Paradise Lakes anymore.
Well,
you hear a lot about Caliente.
Caliente's hot.
Is it the same
baby.
thing? I don't
It's
know.
Hot. Caliente. Well, Paradise Lakes doesn't mean hot in any language, but no, that was the place back in early 20s. And I actually, a couple people live over there, and but yeah, you don't hear about that much anymore.
So did you go out to eat over the weekend?
Just to the usual place. Nothing. I didn't do anything.
Where did you eat?
Chili's,
Okay.
and then I had Pit Boss.
Oh.
Pit Boss, yeah. Then I had Pit Boss again. I thought, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I just went and picked it up and brought it home. But I'm sitting there waiting for, see if something, I was telling Paul before we came on the show last Wednesday. I went into Pit Boss. They got a great sausage. It's like a spicy sausage.
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing I ever eat there. I've been going there for 25 years, and I eat a spicy sausage thing. And I got into a conversation with a guy. He was from North Carolina, and somebody told him to come there to get barbecue. And he said he wanted good barbecue, and he came there. And I said, it's as good as any place around here. I don't know if I'd say it's the best barbecue in the world, but, I mean, that's not what I'm eating. And all of a sudden, this woman starts screaming, "Oh, my God, my husband! And I turn around, and this guy's choking. He's like 67, 68 years old, and he's choking. I got up, ran over, slapped him in the back, put my arms around, gave him the Heimlich maneuver, and a whole glob of pulled pork shoots out of his mouth. And then he's okay. And, the funny thing was, I turn around, everybody's sitting at the table looking, nobody got up in that place to run over here, not even the employees. The bartenders behind the bar, looking at him. And, you don't know what would have happened if I wouldn't have done that. He came over, he says, he thanked me for helping him, wanted to buy my dinner, and I said, no way, just the thing that you can do is that pass this on to somebody else. Do two things to somebody else, goodwill, spread the goodwill.
You're such a good guy.
I know. That was, for my memorial.
But, Jimmy, I have something
I told that at Rotary Club, though, and nobody would believe that I did something like that.
They didn't stand up and give you an award or anything?
Well, they said, I don't believe it. They don't believe that Jimmy would do something like that.
Well, I was on a trip with my wife, and we were in Palm Beach, and we were at a seafood restaurant, really nice restaurant, packed. And I was like the youngest person in there. Most of these people were 70 or above. And this guy drops over dead at the table next to ours. And I'm just verifying what you just said. No one got up from their table or moved. Everybody kept eating. The EMT guys came. They couldn't revive him. They put him on a stretcher and took him out. And he died. But nobody stopped eating. Nobody stood up. There's nothing to...
Well, this is what I mean. I had no idea what I was doing. Really, I really had no idea what I was doing. But I did try to slap the guy in the back. I mean, I tried to do something. And who knows? I could have saved that guy's life right there. Now, he may have gotten it up anyway, but you never know. And, like I said, I was telling you, I was eating a pack of Smarties, and I started choking on a Smartie. I had to pull in a golf course parking lot, and good thing I had
your
bunch
golf
of
clubs.
No, I had paper towels. I stole a roll of paper towels from Pizza Hut when I was in there one time, and it was rolling around the back of my car. And man, I couldn't stop choking on that Smartie. And finally, it came up, and and everything else came up. But, you know, the thing is, a little Smartie. You don't know. That could have been my last Smartie. And I'd be in my casket today. And they'd say, Jimmy died. Here lies Jimmy, who came to death of a Smartie.
Well,
but nobody was there to help me.
you never know.
You never know.
Which food is going to do it to you. You know, yogurts, there's yogurts that are made. You think yogurt is really a healthy thing.
Well, this is...
And there's more sugar than a Twinkie in these yogurts. Especially the yogurts that have the the fruit at the bottom of the yogurt. They don't just put the fruit in there. They put all the corn fructose and the syrups and the sugars all in the bottom with that fruit to keep it sweet.
Most people are eating fruit flavored ones. They don't just want no flavor.
That's true. So the American Heart Association says you should only have 36 grams of sugar every day. Well, that's for men. Women should only have 20. Now, a Twinkie has 19 grams of sugar. That's just one. So
you're better off eating a Twinkie than a yogurt. Is that what you're saying? Does yogurt offer you anything else?
Well, the yogurt, like Yoplait, original, like strawberry Yoplait, and that's
that's
what
a popular.
I eat.
Yeah, that's a popular brand.
It is, and that's 99% fat free, but it has 26 grams of sugar.
So
you have to watch out. You have to watch out for eating fat free things like yogurt. It'll have all the sugar in it. Dannon fruit on the bottom. Blueberry has 24 grams. Well, what are we supposed to have? 36 grams a day and 20 for women. Brown cow non-fat vanilla, 25 grams. So women are really in trouble. Men, we've got about 10 or 15 more grams of sugar that we can use during the day. But do you know what the dishonorable mention is? Guess what's yogurt?
I don't know.
That's wrong.
Not Dannon's or
No.
what's that popular brand?
Activia.
Activia.
Blueberry probiotic
He got
yogurt.
it, man.
Yeah. Are you looking at it on the internet?
What, Activia?
Yeah.
No, I just was thinking of the jingle.
Well,
Oh.
it's Activia Blueberry probiotic yogurt. It's got 19 grams of sugar in that little 4.4 ounce.
Do you ever have
container.
a deep fried Twinkie?
No, but it sounds great.
Oh yeah, they sell them at the fair.
Well,
it's great.
That is equal to the amount of sugar. The Activia Blueberry is equal to one Twinkie.
And with a deep fried Twinkie, it only goes up to 27 grams of sugar. I guess the grease gives you the extras.
So if you're diabetic, you need to take a shot of insulin first.
Now, do you eat a lot of yogurt?
No,
or?
I do eat some yogurt, yes.
Marsha has started eating a lot of yogurt, and
Just tell her to stay
course,
away from the granola.
She can't. It's hard to eat just plain, no sugar.
That's
it
right.
Tastes like crap. So, hey, I found this too. Here's 10 things that can wake you up better than coffee. Because everybody thinks coffee's gonna. Now, the one thing, a big misnomer is everybody thinks that coffee is like when you got a hangover or something that wakes you up, and it's just big. Coffee does nothing for your hangover. That's a big misnomer.
It's ketchup. Somebody told me over the weekend, ketchup. Yeah, you take a packet of ketchup and you squeeze it
Okay, well,
into your mouth.
number one, an apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It also helps you wake up in the morning. Why apples? Because they're amazing. It's got contains fructose, a natural sugar that can wake you up and reaching areas where you may not immediately be able to get. And they contain carbohydrates, which the body needs, and
Apples
some
are
fibers. Apples are good for you. Chocolate. Now, you wouldn't think chocolate, but it starts something going. It has some fat. It has some natural stuff in it because it's made from the cocoa bean, but it also has some refined sugar in it. But it actually starts your blood rolling, kind of like me and my Mountain Dew. For me, taking a chug of Mountain Dew just gets me going.
Well, there's something weird in chocolate anyway. There's something, I can't remember what it's called, but it'll kill dogs and stuff if they eat chocolate. I don't know what it is in chocolate, but there is a special.
Oh, vitamin B12? Is that?
No, not vitamin B12. It's not a vitamin. It's some weird long name with an X and a Y in it.
Theobromine.
Theobromine. Is that what affects these animals?
That's what Google says.
It also says it helps your digestive system. Helps the growth and brain function.
Helps you with aging and everything else.
Yeah,
but
cool.
It's like that resveratrol, everybody's talking about that.
And number 3, light. Seems a bit obvious, I know, but just take a flashlight and shine it in your face, and it helps you wake up in the morning. No, but light has a way of annoying people in the morning, whether you wake up to bright sunlight or just being light in your room. Number 4, smelling salts. One thing that everyone who's ever been drunk can relate to, police officers have been starting to use a lot of smelling salts to wake people up out of a drunken sleep. I've never actually used smelling salts. Have you ever used smelling salts?
Never had it done to me. No.
Never me. Cedric, you ever?
I've smelled it. Yeah, they made us do it when we were
what
kids.
What is it?
I don't know. It's
like
a little
ammonia.
vial.
It's not
like regular.
It smells like ammonia. Yeah.
Oh, like ammonia? So
Yeah,
it's not
it
like
really-
regular sea salt or anything.
No, it gets up into your nose and burns the heck out of it.
If you look at
It's not
these,
like smelling glue or sniffing
No.
glue or anything.
these power lifters, like in the Olympics, they'll snap one of these things, smell it, and then all of a sudden, doing, they're off to the races.
Well, they got to
go
like
out.
grit their teeth and like do things. Now, energy drinks. A lot of people are drinking energy drinks now. When most people think of ways to wake up during the day, they turn to energy drinks. My son-in-law does that. He drinks one of those energy drinks, and
Heavy
good.
sugar.
It's actually kind of funny, and most people say you need a good breakfast, but it says a good breakfast is good for you to wake up in the day. Exercise. Well, Paul, you're the expert at this. You do this, 3-4 times a week?
No, I do. I exercise 5 days a week. Monday
And
through
they
Friday.
do recommend a shower afterwards. Otherwise, you'll have BO the rest of the
Yeah, I
day.
try to do that too.
Water. You're an expert at this. You drink a lot of water. I don't. This is something I need. My old masseuse says you should drink a gallon of water a day. And I probably drink a cap full of water a day.
No, there's an equation for your body weight. The equation tells you how much water you should drink according to your body weight. And I think it's half of your body weight in ounces.
No, really.
Yeah, I think
Well, now
that's
do you
what the
take
formula
your
is.
you can take your
no,
fat
no,
or
all of that's
so just your regular body weight.
yeah.
Okay.
You just say your regular body weight, and you take half of that in ounces.
And music is another thing. Well, that kind of goes. When I get up and I get in the car, I can turn certain music on. It gets me motivated. Rock and roll. It usually, that does it faster than getting a woman taking her bikini off. But if it's the same thing, if the music is boring, I fall right asleep. And also, as I said the night before, what you eat the night before has a lot to do with what you, if you're taking a stuff the night before, can affect your sleep patterns. Maybe I need to be reading this more because I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble right now getting up. I get into these things and I'm sleeping till 2:30 in the afternoon. I need to start getting up at 10 o'clock. Of course, it's just motivation, right?
No, you stay up until 7 o'clock in the morning.
That could be a big problem.
I mean,
right?
8 hours, Jim. 8 hours.
That could be a big problem. Hey, I saw this. I pulled this state thing here, and it's got what the most popular searches are in each state.
Yeah.
What state? Where are you from?
Virginia.
Virginia. Let's see what the biggest thing. Farmville. That's their big search there. It's Farmville. Now, I thought Florida would be nudist colony because we're known. Or maybe that'd be the biggest search here in Tampa Bay because that's where the big. But actually, South Carolina is that's their big search is nudist colony. Maybe because they're looking to come to Tampa Bay. Now, what do you think Florida is, Cedric?
I'm not even going to try. I don't know.
Don't say David Hasselhoff.
No.
That's
prescription
Maryland.
drugs.
No, it's Mazda Miata.
What?
Yeah, well, that's our search area. Out of all the states, we got the worst one. Now, New Mexico is UFOs. Alaska, mail order brides. I guess up in all the white supremacists up there want a mail order bride to slap around.
Colorado's pot.
Colorado's Ann Coulter. Now, why in the hell would Colorado, their number one search, be Ann Coulter? She's like a right wing person. You would think it'd be a left wing, Bob Marley or something. Kama Sutra in Utah. Bigfoot in Idaho. Now, I would have thought that would have been Nevada is let's see, is tattoo removals, and California is meat and murder, or meat is murder.
Meat, MEAT.
So they're all vegetarians out there. Let's see, free kittens. Massachusetts is Canadian men. Connecticut was that Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang, what is it? Wu-Tang Clan? What the hell is that? Wu-Tang Man, Wu-Tang.
It's a band of some kind.
And then, after they're done with the Wu-Tang Man, they go down to New Jersey and do some thumb wrestling. That's their number one thing there. Elvis Presley is still in Tennessee. He's the number one in Tennessee. Raccoon hunting. Knock-knock jokes in Michigan. Well, I guess that's all they got left to do up there. After Detroit's gone bankrupt, there's nothing else to do except knock-knock. Yeah. We got, also, I found out 6 hidden treasures. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, and I ran across this article. There's 6 hidden treasures that are still waiting to be found, maybe by you, Cedric.
Okay.
And I'm kind of, when I go on vacation, I get my Indiana Jones. I got a hat and, all that, and I get out there.
Takes his metal detector.
I take my I'm one of those guys that's out there with my metal detector. Okay, there's a guy named Forrest Fenn. And treasure of the Rocky Mountains. He supposedly buried all this treasure in the Rocky Mountains after being diagnosed with cancer in 1988. He was a millionaire art collector. And he left a couple of maps and clues, and people have been trying to find this stuff ever since, and they haven't found it. And the exact contents of the treasure are unknown, but a friend who helped assemble the stuff says there's a huge heaps of massive gold coins, gold nuggets the size of hen's eggs, jewels, gold bracelets, all this stuff from South America, that because he had been collecting this stuff for years. And people have gone to great lengths, and still at this time they haven't bought it. The number 2 thing is, have you ever heard of Oak Island? You've heard of Oak Island.
Yes.
We just talked about this earlier. Oak Island, even David Niven and Errol Flynn owned this island at one time. Did you know that? And
I didn't know that.
And they actually were they've been looking for treasure on this island for literally centuries. And 7 people have died looking for stuff on here. Well, and the latest group, these guys, since they were children, have been fascinated by this, and now they've retired. They bought the land on the island for like a couple $1 million, and the History Channel done a show. I got excited about it because I thought, now we're going to get the bottom of this. And the show ended, and they still haven't found anything. So it's still open for
prospecting.
and there's a lot of clues and a lot of information from the past people that have done there. The treasure of the Lima. The Spanish accumulated a great amount of wealth in South America. There was a big thing where the British captain, and his ship grabbed a lot of the Spanish stuff, and he was taking it back, and the ship sunk by the Cocos Islands. Never discovered.
Where are they?
And they let's see what they thought, up to $12 to $60 million in original, with 200 chests of jewels, 273 swords, 113 solid gold religious statues, and 1,000 diamonds, 150 chalices, and hundreds of gold and silver bars. And it was the Cocos Islands off the coast of Chile. Number 4, the Nazi gold in Lake Toplitz, Austria. Now, I actually sell, and if you ever saw the movie Goldfinger, James Bond Goldfinger, the first, when he encounters Goldfinger at the golf course and he throws that gold bar on the ground, that's supposed to be one of the Nazi hoard gold bars from the thing. I actually sell a replica of that gold bar on my website at Real Art, REEL, and art.net. But the Nazis, at the end of World War II, dumped a bunch of this treasure into the lake to get rid of it. Now, they found a bunch of boxes full of replica money. The Nazis actually, during the war, they used to print like let's say Austria, just as an example, and Austria was using a certain currency, or France was using francs, and they'd print millions and millions of dollars in francs and then inflate it into the country, and it rise their currency inflation up out the roof, and they'd break the country economically, and then they'd go in with their stuff. But they also rumored is the famed Amber Room. Now, the Amber Room was Peter the Great when he built the palace in St. Petersburg in Russia. This room was built out of walls that were solid amber, and the floor was amber, and the ceiling was amber, and the Germans took that room, disassembled it, and supposedly it's in this lake. And just waiting for us that maybe we'll transmit from there and find us.
I think they found that gold in that lake. I remember seeing a movie about it.
There's a couple of movies about it, and
where
but
the Nazis threw all this gold in the lake, and this guy
another interesting thing is that if you go online, there's at least 1,500 items that are on a list, a public list of Jewish people that was stolen during World War II. And if any of this stuff comes up, it's from the Nazis stealing this, and the families have never been able to get this back. And there's Renoirs and classic art, and just millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff on there. And just amazing that this stuff is out there, and it has never come to light. It's in private collectors' hands. It's just like the Mona Lisa was stolen, and they made 8 replicas and sold them to people that thought they were buying the real Mona Lisa, and then they found the real Mona Lisa, and none of these replicas have ever come on the market because the guys are like, they're not going to say they bought a fake Mona Lisa. Okay.
Pretty good plan.
Yeah. Well, the guy that it took Da Vinci 8 years to paint the Mona Lisa. Did you know that? And it took the guy to paint the 8 replicas 3 months. And he got one of the things, he got the recipe for the paint from one of Da Vinci's books that he wrote. Because they make the paint out of clay and stuff. They had to go to Italy to get it. Word of the day is bricolage. Bricolage. You know what that means?
I have not a clue.
The construction of ideas achieved by using whatever comes to hand. Also, knowing that the motor was assembled from a hasty bricolage of junk parts, Raphael had little hope that it would run effectively. It was derived from the French word bricoleur, meaning to putter about. And this day in history, 1941, the Bismarck was sunk by the Royal Navy. Remember the Bismarck? Remember that?
Yes, I do.
I just remember that movie. Remember that movie they used to have, Sink the Bismarck? And this day, 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened. And it was in Marin County. It was a big thing. It was the biggest suspension bridge of its time. They had a hard time actually building this because it was right on the San Andreas Fault. 2005. Murder suspect spends his third day perched on a crane. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is 2005, with the third day that Carl Edward Rowland, 41, was wanted by police in connection with the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer Gonzalez.
Is this in Atlanta?
This was in Atlanta, yeah. He spent perched on a crane 18 stories above the Buckhead neighborhood. Now, this murder that they suspected him for was in Pinellas County, Florida. They discovered the badly beaten body of this girlfriend, Gonzalez, 36, in a retention pond on May 24th. She had been last seen with Rowland, for whom the police issued the arrest warrant. He did not return to his Clearwater, Florida home, so he lived in Clearwater. And then he showed up in Atlanta later on, and he was hiding in like the crane scoop, and they raised it up in the air. Now today, also in 1703, St. Petersburg was founded by Peter the Great, and he was the emperor who built St. Petersburg. This was the first, he moved the city from Moscow to Petersburg because this was on the Baltic Sea. And he built this palace with the Amber Room. And he ended up beating the Ottoman Empire in Sweden. This became a long-time home until the Bolshevik Revolution, and they moved everything back to Moscow, which it's been since. Now, the it's John Wayne's birthday today.
Well, you don't say.
I was just going to say, howdy, Pilgrim. And Helena Bonham Carter, Lenny Kravitz, Mike Myers, and Dean Martin's birthday today. A couple of little quotes. True faith is belief in the reality of absolute values. Work on the accent, it will enliven the whole. What springs from the earth dissolves to the earth again, and heaven-born things fly to their native seat. That's by Marcus Aurelius. What you get free usually costs you too much. So beware of stuff that you get for free, because it usually costs too much. And there's always the need to carry on. Rules and models destroy genius and art. Money can't buy love, but it improves your bargaining position. Okay, so, the big thing on eBay this weekend. What, you're bidding on this, Cedric?
Yes, bidding.
Okay. The big thing on
$3.
eBay, I ran across this, is you wouldn't know it, but it's up to $10,000 right now. Somebody put on eBay a piece of paper. It's part of an A4 paper, which is a British type of paper, and it's just got the word "the" that's written in a ballpoint pen. And at first it got on there, and a couple of people were bidding on it, and now they're going wild on this thing. So we'll see if it sells. And it's on eBay if you guys want to buy it. I got to get this. A cat brought home to neighbor of mine. His cat brought home a bag of weed over the weekend. He's out running around the neighborhood and came home with a bag of weed. He had about 2 ounces of dope in there. Of course, the neighbor, being a good upstanding citizen, called the police to arrest the cat. And, of course, our local police, they did. They cuffed the cat front and back and threw him in the back of the car. And then now animal control's involved in this. And you got the High Times shot a guy down here to write an article for this. And they said, their article, they wrote, apparently the cat was oblivious to the fact that not only is human, it was extremely lame, but also a bold-faced narc. And also there's a place up there, tourists get a snake massage by giant pythons.
I saw that saw that.
550 pounds of pythons, and you get in there and they wrap around you and give you like a massage.
They feed them first, so they don't eat you.
Yeah, they get 10 chickens before each massage. So,
but the person lays down.
Wear a wetsuit.
you lay down with just your bathing suit, and then these snakes just entwine themselves all around you. I don't even know why they don't constrict and kill you.
The weird thing is the nurses, or not the nurses, but the masseuses, they wear flight attendant outfits to boost your satisfaction. So you go in there and you get a massage with the python, and then the masseuses are wearing flight attendant outfits. They look like that Korean airline commercial.
That Korean airline commercial looks
good. Say. So where are you going after the show? You said you're back.
I don't know. Where are we going today?
I don't know. What do you got a taste for?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was another thing. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff happening this weekend. There's a naked couple caught having sex next to an ATM over by the bank over here. I tell you, man, people are just, they have no scruples anymore. Man filed a restraining order against his 5-year-old that lives next door. Says, I've had it up to here, and I can't take it anymore. Okay.
Sorry, I was watching the Korean airline commercial.
Oh, yeah. Cedric's he's in there, man.
Looks pretty good.
See, McDonald's has got a lawsuit going on. A pregnant woman got a marijuana in a hamburger. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. My kid got a tooth in her hamburger, and I went to a lawyer to try it. Nothing happened. Everybody else gets a lawsuit. I get jack.
Yeah. Well, we found a white mouse in our can of spinach and contacted the company, and they said, don't worry, you can eat the mouse. Everything inside that can is perfectly
it's pasteurized.
Yeah, it's all pasteurized. Don't worry about it, man. That mouse is pasteurized,
everything
man. Just watch it when you get the toenail. That's the best part.
Well, you're wild as usual, Jimmy. Looks like this is another show.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. We're the lean...
mean
talking
machine.
Thanks everybody for joining into the show. We'll see you next week, same time, same place,
same station.
You got it.
See you, Larry. Have a great vacation.